Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is the Great and Powerzilla, and today I'm going to do a video review on this ship right here. This is the USS Pensacola. The Pensacola was commissioned in February of 1930. It served until August of 1946. It was nicknamed the Gray Ghost by Tokyo Rose, and it was sunk as a target ship in 1948 after surviving two atomic blasts off of the Bikini Isles. This ship, during its service in World War II, received 13 battle stars. On the 29th of November 1941, just a few days before Pearl Harbor, it left Pearl Harbor and was going to the Philippines, but it was diverted to Australia when the attack on Pearl Harbor happened. During the Battle of Midway, it went to the assistance of the carrier Yorktown, and it served throughout the war. It was a very famous ship. It served in almost every single major U.S. battle. At the Battle of Guadalcanal, a Japanese ship fired 18 torpedoes at Pensacola, one of which hit underneath its mast right here and caused a fire. This fire was so intense and so severe that only the skill of the crew managed to keep her afloat. Her third turret back here, this one, underneath that turret, the ammunition exploded, 8-inch ammunition exploded. Okay. She made it back to Tulagi, and she was still on fire when she got to Tulagi. She underwent emergency repairs there, then on to Australia, and she was eventually fully repaired and back in service. She was one of only 6 U.S. cruisers at the beginning of World War II to have radar, and she served throughout the war at Iwo Jima, Okinawa, Saipan, the Marianas, the whole 9 yards. In 1945, she returned to San Diego, and she was stricken from the record in November of 1945, and then she was decommissioned in 1946, and she was towed out to the Bikini Atoll for the atomic test, where she underwent atomic tests, survived that, and then she was sunk as a target boat in August, or in 1948. Yeah, it was 1948. Okay, so this is the Pensacola. It is the only U.S. ship in World War II that I know of that was named from Florida. I was asked of me to do a Florida battleship one. There is no Florida battleship. And part of the reason for that is during the American Civil War in 1860 to 1865, the Confederate Navy commissioned a commerce raider, the CSS Florida. And that may be part of the reason why Florida has never had a capital ship named after it as a state, which is odd because the Alabama certainly was. So, anyway, be that as it may, it's just speculation on my part. The Pensacola here in game, what do we got here? Well, what we've got is an extremely squishy cruiser. This thing is very squishy. It's a glass cannon. But it has a humongous citadel right in the middle. You see that yellow? Okay. And it's very thinly armored, only 19 millimeters. So pretty much anything can penetrate this ship. All right. It's not very fast. With a module, it can be fairly maneuverable. Okay. It doesn't have a whole lot of health. Only 32,000 hit points. Its guns are its story. It's got 10 8-inch guns. And it's got 8 5-inch guns as secondary armament. Okay, anti-aircraft defense is no slouch. It's got a 55 anti-aircraft rating. It's not extremely fast. It only can do 32.5 knots. Now with speed flags and whatnot, you can bump that up a little bit, but only so much. Okay, so it's not bad, and it's not going to hide from anybody. 13.7 kilometer concealment, and that's without the commander skill or the module, but you get the idea. Okay, so what I've done with this ship, I have the main armaments mod 1, damage control mod 1, target acquisition systems, and I put rudder shift, steering gears mod 1, mod 2 on it. Okay, and that helps it survive a little bit longer. But honestly, this thing, if it starts taking hits, it's not going to last very long. It's very weak as far as armor goes. Okay. Can be effective ship in the right circumstances, but you're not going to trade punches with anybody, let's put it that way. Okay. So I took it into a co-op game, and I was the only human being, as you'll see, and we'll see how I did. But as far as signals and what go, I have no signal flags on this. You know, to be honest, it's a new captain. She's still orange, and what I did was I had the permaflage, this space camouflage, but I didn't think that would be pretty cool to put in this video as far as that goes, to give a realistic idea of what the ship actually looks like, because it changes the appearance and the sound of the ship so significantly. I didn't put any signal flags on there, and the two flags I did put on there were the Brooklyn Navy Yard and the Marianas Turkey Shoot flag. Okay, so that's it. That's the Pensacola. Let's go into co-op and see what she can do. Okay. Alright, I'm the only human in this co-op match. What that means is that if I get sunk, it will be a draw. And I am in an extremely lightly armored cruiser. So we'll see what I can do, but I have little hope for anything beyond a draw in this game, due to the fact that I am on the Pensacola and I know what its limitations are. So we start off. The ship does look good. You know, taking a look at it, it does look impressive. And its firepower is very impressive. Alright? But survivability against some of these monsters out here, with only bots to back me up, yeah, not looking too good. So anyway, being the eternal optimist that I am, I head on over to sea. Alright? And maybe we can cap C and swing it around, and maybe something good will happen. Bots are doing what they typically do, which is charge straight forward and engage the enemy. Now, a lot of times what the bots will do is that they will directly go after each other, and they'll ram each other. Okay? Until somebody starts shooting. Once they start shooting, their algorithm says to do something completely different. And if they detect you as the only human, then they will all start shooting at you, which is why I have little, if any, faith in my ability to survive this battle in full. Alright? But anyway, like I said, 9/10 of the battles that you fight in this game, or other games similar to it, are getting to and from the fight. You know, you're in transit. Fortunately, with the Pensacola, you're going a little bit faster than your typical cruiser, the exception being the Italians. And you're doing well over 30 knots. So, here we go. We're moving into sea. I can see that something is in sea, probably a destroyer. Alright, and I'm going to go and see if I can't blap that destroyer. Okay, there's the destroyer. Now, the thing that I've got to keep in mind here is that thing has torpedoes. Torpedoes, torpedoes, torpedoes. You get a bad case of torpedoes, right? So, I take a shot, chunk him for about half his health. Alright? And I'm starting to bow into him. Why? Because the torpedoes are going to come from that direction. But he's nose into me, which gives me the opportunity. So I go ahead and blap him. There it is. 8-inch guns against the tier whatever cruise destroyer. Yeah, that destroyer's not going to last very long. Alright? So I was rocking high explosive. I switch over to AP. Why? Because if I'm looking at the score, I see all their destroyers are gone. Alright, so I got an Emerald and I got an Omaha over here. Omaha has torpedoes and so does the Emerald. The Emerald also has smoke. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm lining up in this gap because they're going to pass like ducks in a shooting gallery through that gap. There's the Emerald turning away. I fire my armor piercing at the Emerald. And let's see if we get some hits. Yeah, we got a Citadel. Alright, we chunked him for a good amount of health. Alright, some fire coming in. That's starting to make me nervous because this ship is not going to take any fire. The only shot I had there is going to fall behind him. He's going too fast. Emerald's extremely speedy, fast acceleration and whatnot. I'm looking for the Omaha. Where'd he go? Typically, your bots will just charge straight forward. They will go absolutely forward to the other side of the map, up toward the A line. They just go straight. All right, but something has happened here, so I back it up, thinking the Omaha's around that corner, but then I notice on the mini map the Omaha's going to pop up here to the south, and he's heading the other direction, which is okay. That's weird. Normally the bots don't do all that. Okay, so I engage and I go forward. There's the emerald. So I got a good broadside on the emerald. Let's see if I can do any damage. Yes, another citadels. Chunked him for a good amount of health. Alright, so I'm moving straight down, and there's the Omaha. Now the Omaha, very much like the Pensacola, is extremely lightly armored. And when you're firing a very heavy shell, like the 8-inch shells I have on the Pensacola here, you have the tendency to get over penetrations. There's the bots doing their bot thing. I don't know why they do that, but I fire, I over penetrate. All my rounds over penetrate. So very little damage, just a fraction of the damage I could have done. Alright, so I'm coming around the corner, and the Omaha is going to turn away from me. And when he does, he gives me the full length of his ship, and that allows me to citadel. Alright, so there's another shot. Now you're firing every 15 seconds or so with the 8-inch guns here, which is typical for a tier 6 cruiser, with 8-inch guns. You're not a Des Moines. So I take out the Omaha, I turn it around, I try to keep my nose in to try and mitigate some of this damage angle against the enemy ships. That emerald's doing a pretty good job of tearing me up a little bit though. So I'm going to fire at the emerald, and I miss. I miss to the right. Emerald comes around, he's trying to get a torpedo run. I can see what he's trying to do. He's angling for those torpedoes. There it is. I slow it down, I bank, but I'm still going to take one. That's okay, I got my repair. So he chunked me for half, but I got it. Alright, so moving up, and I see, oh my god, there's a battleship there. Okay? A Bretagne, French battleship, dreadnought type, World War I style. And I have no chance of beating this Bretagne head to head. What I'm going to try to do is maneuver around him and get behind him. But you can see there, one shot from that Bretagne and my health is gone. Just gone. And I'm going to start to come within his secondary range, which is not a good thing. There's only so much you can do on certain ships, and I'm about at the limit of what I could possibly do on the Pensacola. 57,000 damage and 3 ships sunk is pretty darn good, considering. Alright, so I start a fire, get some more damage going on, but I'm just not making a dent in this Bretagne, really. He's not gonna die. I don't have torpedoes. I don't have anything up my sleeve that's going to make him disappear. And he takes me out. So that's it. Good game. Co-op. I did the best I could. 62,000 damage and counting. But I was the only human, and I was sunk, and therefore it's a draw. And that's the Pensacola, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a great day, and be very good to each other. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.